Well, hey friends, I hope you're doing well. Let's clean my house together. Usually, keeping my house clean and tidy is something that I try to stay on top of. But with everything that's been going on in my life lately, I just haven't had the energy or motivation to do it. But fortunately, the past few days, I have been feeling my energy slowly coming back. And since my house really needed it, I decided it was time to give it a good cleaning. I began in our main living area with just tidying up the space. There were a number of things that had just been out for several days. I had flowers that were past their prime. So I wanted to begin my cleaning spree just with giving myself a blank slate to work with. So I cleared the clutter, tossed the dead flowers. Then I also noticed that there were a number of dishes in the sink that needed to be put away. So I took a second to empty the sink before washing the dirty dishes. And then for the dishes that I had just cleaned, I decided to just dry those and put those away so that we would have no dishes in process, and I wanted to clean out the sink, so it really just made it easier to do that. And as I was cleaning our sink, I did notice that our drying rack was looking worse for wear, so I decided to give that a deep clean as well, trying to get in all of the corners and really clear out some of the grime. Then I also did the same thing for the tray that we keep our Scrub Daddy in and our hand and soap dispensers. Then I tackled the counters next, and if I'm being honest, this is one of the few things that I had been staying at least fairly on top of over the past few weeks. There's nothing that kind of irritates me more than seeing a bunch of gunk and just food debris on a counter, so I have been keeping that pretty tidy, but for the most part, I have just been using dish soap and water, as well as one of our cleaning cloths to clean that, so I did want to give it a bit of a deeper clean today, so I just used this multi-purpose cleaner with one of my microfiber cloths to give this a good scrub down. And I really tried to make sure that as I was going, I wasn't just going around things, which is what I tend to do when I'm just cleaning on a regular basis, but I really tried to move things out of the way, make sure that we were getting under them, not just around them, to give the counter a bit of a deeper clean. And for the cutting board that lives on our island, I wanted to make sure that I didn't just properly clean underneath it, as this is an area that does often get missed, but I also wanted to cure our cutting board to kind of give it a bit of moisture so that it will last longer. So I just used this food grade mineral oil and poured a little bit of that on, letting that sit for a couple of minutes before moving on to wiping down the rest of the counter. Where possible, I'm all about just some small practical habits like that help you to prolong the life of the things you own. Then next, I gave all of the stools at our counter a bit of a wipe down. I love that they're made from a faux leather, so it makes them really easy to clean, to get all the crumbs off of. Then I just started making my way around the rest of our living space, wiping down all of our furniture, basically anything with a hard surface. Okay, then these flowers were probably looking the best of all the ones that I had left. So what I did here was I just cut them down to size, removed some of the stems that just didn't really look good anymore. And I just tried rearranging them in this kind of vintage French pitcher. Been loving keeping flowers in this lately. I think it just looks so sweet. And then once that was kind of all styled and removed all the dead flowers from it, I just put that on our counter, cleaned up my mess. I will say though, I've been loving having flowers in my home lately, and it's just been such a bright spot in our space. Then I continued with my mission to wipe down all of our furniture, moved over to the living room. Okay, then one thing I wanted to get your opinion on, I was thinking about it as I was cleaning, is I'm not sure if these floating shelves really still work in our space. We got them when we first moved in and I loved them for quite some time, but lately I've just been feeling like they might fit a bit better somewhere else in our home. So let me know what you think. Should we keep them there? Do you like them how they are? Or should we maybe move them? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Then once we had all of our surfaces wiped down, I moved on to cleaning our appliances. I just used this Shadazzle natural cleaner. It is the best thing that I've come across for cleaning our stove. It does a great job of really removing the grease, the grime, and just kind of the bits that build up on your stove. Especially I find with electric stoves, there can be a lot of just gunk that solidifies itself to the outer rim of your burners. But this stuff really does just such a great job of getting rid of it. I love that it's a more natural solution, so I just spread that out, really use some elbow grease to get it in there, then I wiped it all down, and it does sometimes take a bit of wiping in order to get it all off, but in my opinion it is well worth it. This thing looked so much cleaner on the other side. Then I also did the front of the stove too, just using a glass cleaning spray, which I find tends to work best. One thing I'll say when it comes to cleaning my appliances is I tend not to do them all at once. I feel like it can just be a lot of work if you're trying to do all of your appliances at one time. So what I like to do instead is whenever I'm going on a cleaning spree, I'll usually try to pick what are the 1 to 2 appliances that really need the most TLC right now, and I'll just focus on cleaning those. What happens is I'll typically end up kind of rotating between appliances with each time I clean my house. It's an easy way of keeping everything fairly clean and tidy without making it so it's a ton of work for me. Then I also noticed a good bit of food debris on a handful of our cabinets, so I just went around and quickly spot washed those. Then one area that really needed some attention was our trash and recycling. Fortunately, trash day was just the following day, so I started just with emptying out both of the bins and wiping them down. Because these are a very high use area for us, they were pretty dirty, especially since, you know, who actually likes cleaning the trash can? So it's something that I try to avoid whenever possible. But since I'd committed to it already, I decided to go all out. So I just moved the trash cans out of their place and did the entire area surrounding them. There were a number of marks and naturally more food residue around this whole area. So I not only did the wall, the baseboard, but I also actually spot washed the floor too. I did go in afterwards and vacuum, but I wanted to make sure that I kind of loosened up the gunk on the floor first so that when I went through and vacuumed, it would actually pick everything up. I put both of the bins back into place, put a new liner in our trash can. We don't actually keep one in our recycling. Then I emptied out our little Dyson cordless vacuum so that it would be ready to use. Then I just went around and vacuumed all the floors in our main living space, and honestly, this was so needed. There was a lot of debris on the floor. I even found a couple of popcorn kernels, so this is one of those things that just felt really satisfying to do. I mean, vacuuming already is one of my favorite household chores, but this time in particular was very gratifying. I also feel like I should throw out there that I did consider mopping the floor, and realistically our floors probably could use it, but I'm pretty low on our cleaning solution for mopping, so I did actually add that to our grocery list. I'm going to get that next time I'm out, but for now just stuck with vacuuming the floors, and I think that'll be fine. Then while I had our vacuum out, the last thing that I did in this space was just to swap out the attachment and to vacuum our sofa and chair. Because we use a lot of throw pillows and blankets, they can just kind of collect a lot of little bits of fluff, so it's nice just to get all of that off quickly. And then next I moved over to our bedroom, stripped the bed so I could wash the sheets. This is one of those things that always feels so good to do, so I just threw the sheets in the washer with some other whites and lights that we had on hand. I wanted to just do all of that at once. Then I started the load in the washer before continuing on with cleaning the bedroom. And I wanted to vacuum the floor in here as well, so I just piled all the remaining linens on the bed before once again cracking out my glass cleaner and another microfiber towel, although I did actually switch to paper towel because I found this was leaving just a couple too many streaks. I gave this large mirror in here a good cleaning. And on this dresser in particular, I was noticing a lot of dust collecting. You can really see it here. I'm not sure why this dresser seemed to get so much more dust than literally everything else in our house. Maybe I've just forgotten to do it the last few times I cleaned. I don't know, but it felt really good just to remove all of that dust, to clean under and around everything on it. I also did the same thing for both of our bedside tables. They didn't need it quite as much, but it still felt good to do, and especially this book on Christopher's bedside table it turned out have a lot of dust on it. I didn't even realize how much had gotten there. Seeing all the dust in this room really was just a good reminder for me to remember to change my air filters out more often. It's one of the easiest ways to combat dust in the home. Then I went in with our vacuum, picking up what I could, and just navigating around some of the larger pieces. I just have to say I love the experience of vacuuming with a cordless vacuum. When we first got ours last November, I really wasn't sure how much I would use it or how much I liked it, but I had hope. I have to say my expectations have really been met, doubled and tripled. It is so nice and so convenient vacuuming with this little guy. I love how it just seamlessly moves from rugs to carpet to our laminate floors and literally everything else. But then with the bedroom done, minus the sheets of course, which were in progress, I decided I wanted to clean our bathroom, which is really the last big space that I wanted to tackle during this cleaning spree. But realistically, this one was probably the dirtiest of the lot. Or at least our shower was, but we'll get to that in a bit. First though, I started with cleaning our mirror, getting on the counter to make sure I was reaching the upper portions of it because, hey, I'm short, I cannot reach the whole thing. And then I moved down to our counters. And whenever I'm cleaning, I always try to follow that basic strategy of working top to bottom, except with the toilet where I kind of work out in. But I find it's just a really easy way of making sure that you're not doubling work for yourself. And that way, as you're cleaning, things just kind of naturally fold further and further down until finally you end with the floors. Keeps things easy and efficient. Okay, but then on another note, please tell me I'm not the only one who loves the feeling of a freshly shined tap with no fingerprints or anything like that on it. Oh, it is so satisfying. I love it. All right, but then as I was finishing up with the bathroom counter, I did hear the little song letting me know that our laundry was ready to be switched over. So I just got all of that out of the washer, switched it over to the dryer and let that run. I tossed in a couple of dryer sheets, of course, to make sure everything smelled good. And then I continued with cleaning the bathroom, focusing on the toilet next. And like I was mentioning earlier, with the toilet, I like to work outside in. So I'll basically clean the entire exterior of the toilet first and work my way inside to the toilet bowl. Although truth be told, when I went to clean this, the toilet bowl was not looking nearly as bad as it has recently. I think it was probably a few days ago. I just had gotten fed up with how just nasty it was looking. So I decided to give at least the toilet bowl itself a good cleaning. I didn't clean the rest of the toilet then, but I did the toilet bowl, and I am trying to stay just more on top of it now because oof, I can let it go sometimes. But I mean, hey, when it comes to keeping our homes clean, we all have our weaknesses, don't we? Mine's definitely cleaning the toilet and the shower. Then with the toilet cleaned, I just restocked our extra paper towel. That's something that I've started doing that I really find to be so handy, and made my way over to probably the most dreaded cleaning task on my entire list, and that's our shower. Showers can just be a bit of a pain to clean sometimes. They always take so much longer than you expect them to, especially since the builders who made our shower left just a lot of weird lips and angles that are so difficult to get into and to clean. But hey, we do our best. So I just started with cleaning the glass enclosure, and we do try to wipe this down every single time that we take a shower. But even so, there is an amount of soap and just general product that tends to build up on it. So it is one of those things that I really wanted to go slowly with, to take my time, just to get it as clean as possible. Then let's talk about this shower floor, because this is one of those things that I did not realize how gross it was till I actually started cleaning it. But as I started working on the walls and then the actual floor of the shower, I just noticed so much build up of, I don't know what it exactly is, grime product, probably all of the above, coming off of the shower, and it really did feel just so satisfying. It was difficult, but it was also really satisfying just to watch as my scrubbing produced results and we were able to get a ton of stuff off the shower floor. Then to clear off some of the debris and to better see what I still had to do, I just poured a bit of water on the shower floor, just went in and specifically scrubbed at some areas that still needed a bit more love before just showering out the debris and putting everything back. Then the last thing that I did here in the bathroom was to tackle the floor. I noticed a lot of hair just building up on the floor and on our baseboard, so I went through first and just used a dry cloth to pick up all the hair, all the dust from the baseboards. I also got under the scale. Then I just followed that up by vacuuming. And this room is definitely a space that I need to try to hit more often when I vacuum. It is one that I often forget about, but between Christopher and I, do shed a lot of hair, so I think that it's one of those things that I'd like to start doing, hopefully on a weekly basis, if not every week or two. I also changed out our bath mat because our old one just had gotten really nasty and stained, so put a fresh one in, and then our sheets were all clean. And so after washing my hands because they were gross from cleaning the bathroom, I just made the bed, resetting our final space. And with that, I wrapped up my cleaning day, just spent the evening relaxing, enjoying our freshly cleaned space. It felt so good being able to just refresh, to clean our home. It had been so long since I'd properly cleaned everything that honestly I just forgotten how good it feels. I love it. But I really hope that you all enjoyed coming along, cleaning with me. I hope that this gives you some motivation to go out there to clean your space as well. Until next time, friends, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Love you, friends. Bye.